Hello, welcome to Dendros Podcast. I'm your host, Justin. Today, we're reviewing a new comic that came out in March this year, if I'm not mistaken. Ultramega, issue 1, which is published by Image and by Skybound 2010 to 2020. Okay. That's like Robert Kirkman's company. Yeah, so this is Ultramega. It's written by James Harren, Dave Stewart. I'm not really familiar with James Harren's work, but this book is rated M for mature, and it's I don't know if this I know they like over here in the West we have Ultraman comic books, but I'm not 100% sure if this is like official tie-in with that or this is just like a parody. But the story for this book, which one of my complaints for the story for this book, is that it kind of I don't know if they because the guy I think I read the back a little bit. The guy's like into anime OVAs and shit. So I don't know if he reads current manga, but like the story is the story for this manga is very similar to a horror manga that came out a few years ago, Jagon, which is about this guy who it's like basically Videodrome meets Battle Royale, kind of, and that's what this book is about. Where like the main character, his name is Jason. I think it's Jason Meyer. Might just be Jason. He has a dream where he gets visited by an alien, right? Which the alien tells him, hey, he's been chosen to be a warrior, and that he will be given power to fight this demented cosmic plague called the Kaiju Curse, where people will randomly turn into monsters. But like in the book, they say they only really turn into monsters in the presence of the Ultramega. So it's like, but like that doesn't mean that that they're safe. After a while, they will turn into monsters, right? So yeah, so he accepts the aliens offer, right? And after that, the kaiju shows up, and it turns out he wasn't the only warrior chosen. There were two others. There was Ern, who's this like a bulky dude, and this kid named Stephen Meyer, right? Who loses his arm in like one of the first fights, his first fights with a kaiju, which he turns into a green like Ultramega, and the Ern guy turns into a red Ultramega. So 10 years pass by. 10 years pass by. Stephen Meyer is like a billionaire or whatever, tech billionaire. Ern disappeared, and like the main character has been fighting kaiju for like 10 years. Never gets a day off, and what finally happens is that he which I forgot to mention, he during that time period, because it just flash forwards, right? During that time period, he had married a woman and got her pregnant, and she was infected by the Kaiju Curse, but he couldn't kill her, right? So he had the government. The government supports these guys, by the way. The government took her away, but after 10 years, after 10 years of leaving his wife and son alone, which he had remarried, by the way. He has a baby. She has their son go out and try to kill his father, which is Jason, right? And he becomes this giant kaiju that's really powerful, right? So, uh, but before that happened, uh, Jason's wife contacts the other two Ultramegas and uh, has them help Jason because he's feeling burnout. How she found Ern when Ern has been homeless this entire time, who knows, right? But you get to see all three Ultramega fight this giant monster, and they just get wiped out, right? They just get wiped out, and like some of the Ultramega do have like, besides from fighting, they do have like physical fighting. They do have special powers, like they can shoot energy blasts and turn their bodies into human bombs if they want to. Which yeah, the one guy Ern was able to transform himself into like uh, a bigger version of himself, right? A bit like a bigger version of himself, and you get like an Eve of kind of like an Evangelion feel to that, because he turns like into a fucking monster, and uh like his jaw splits open and it looks like Eva 1 when Eva 1 went berserk in the first episode of Evangelion, right? And that was a really cool fight, but it ends with I don't want to spoil too much, but like yeah, it's a very fucking brutal fight. You get like limbs get cut off, people get disemboweled, people get cut in half, right? Cut in half, right? And also, unlike with Ultraman, they have like this eyeball where the crystal would be, and apparently that's the source of their power, right? Instead of a crystal, there's an eyeball. So like after that, there's another time skip. Jason's dead. Spoiler. His wife is dead, but their son survives. And after that, there's no more Ultramegas. There's no more Ultramegas, and and the government develops like we go pretty much post-apocalyptic now. The government develops giant robots and walled cities, and they now have scanners to scan people if they are infected with the plague, and what they make those people live outside the walls, right? Where we see our new main character lives, which he has like a prosthetic limb, which he's probably going to be the new Ultramega. So at first I was kind of iffy on the book, but I actually really enjoyed it. It was pretty cool. The body horror stuff, the humor was pretty cool. I wasn't a huge fan of the designs. They were a little goofy, but the fights make up for it. And for people who are into conspiracy stuff, there's some cool conspiracy stuff. You see an upside down. At like Stephen Meyer was like throwing a party, I guess, and he was throwing like Illuminati party. There's like a fucking goats, black goats. There are people in like triangle hoods. You got like a reverse pyramid with an eye in it, and there's a dude who's like dressed up as the bear from the blowjob bear furry from the Shining movie. Have you ever seen that? So it's like, and there's also a sign on a street corner where it says Moloch lives, which is, if you know anything about conspiracy stuff, the elites apparently worship this owl slash flaming bull god called Moloch. So I thought pretty cool that there's like conspiracy stuff in this book, right? But yeah, my biggest problem with the book is that $10, and that's kind of pricey. And I know this is basically the way it's printed. It's almost like a trade, but it's basically, this was a quick read. So this isn't exactly trade night. This is like, at best, this is like, felt like I was reading like 2 issues or more. Yeah, but it's like, no, I would say it felt like reading 2 issues, right? Right. So it's a bit pricey, and it's almost better. You're almost better off just waiting for the trades, because Image trades are pretty cheap, right? So I think if they ever put out like a trade for this series, they probably wouldn't charge too much, right? Uh, Also, if you're a fan, if the art I thought was very similar to John Layman's Chew series, so if you've ever seen that, the art is pretty much the same as that. Very close. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I have to say for this book. If I were to give this a rating, I would say, you know what? Despite my problems, I would say it's an 8 out of 10. But honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna continue buying these books, because $10 is a lot of money, and for like an issue. And so I might just wait for the trades, because yeah. And then there's the fact that I know a lot of people are buying this book because they think it's hot. I don't think, honestly, guys, if you're a comic collector, I don't think this is worth picking up, because like there's no way anybody could make a movie or TV show off this book and probably not get sued by the Ultraman people, right? Which is Toho, I think, owns Ultraman. I would have to double check. But yeah, even if this is like part of the Ultraman comic book license or whatever, they would probably still get sued, man. There's no way this is going to turn into a movie or TV show. Maybe an animated series, the Japanese will like let it go if they get like some money their way, but like no way this is turning into a movie, right? They would get sued, which Japanese copyright law is shitty in Japan, but since if they're suing somebody in America, it would probably get handled in American courts, and copyright law in America is really fucking strong. So I don't think, if you're one of those comic collectors, I don't think it's like worth paying $10 for it. But then again, it is. I would say it is a good read for $10. You're getting, like, considering how expensive comic books are. If you're somebody who doesn't like trades, then this is like you're getting, like, I would say 2 issues worth of books. It's I would say it's kind of worth the money. And then there's the fact that there's no fucking comic book ads in this book. I mean, there is one near the end, but that's for the next book. There's no ads in this book, so that is a huge plus in my opinion. Because like the fucking last book I read, Heroes Reborn, had fucking constant ads. Every like 1 or 2 pages, a fucking ad, man. It was insane. But like here, there's no ads, so I was a little surprised to see there were no ads. So yeah, if I were to give this rank, I was thinking a 7, but you know what? 8 out of 10. Though that might have been just because when I was listening to a random playlist, and while the epic battle scene was playing, this epic song was playing in the random YouTube generated music playlist. It was called Gunship: The Veil of Shadows, and it was like this epic 80s synthwave song. So it made the fucking epic battle like probably 100 times fucking better, man. Holy fuck! I'm gonna listen to more songs by Gunship. Holy shit! But yeah, like I might have overrated this book a little bit, but you know what? 8 out of 10 is fucking awesome read. I need to check. I'm definitely going to pick up the trade when this comes out. Fuck it. Maybe if I find issue 2, maybe I'll get it. All right, guys. Peace.